The Almost Fatal Kickstarter is the 4th exclusive Kickscammer episode available to YouTube members and Patreons. Find the links down below to support the show to see episodes like these and to get plenty of other awesome perks too. Thanks for listening and on with the show. Kickstarter is an awesome website when it's done properly. You may think somebody that has a long-running series showcasing pretty much nothing but the worst the site has to offer wouldn't like it, but you couldn't be further from the truth. I always tend to have at least one campaign I'm backing on sites like Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and 9 times out of 10 they end up delivering. Not always to the standard that they promise, but that's a risk I'm willing to take, and in that regard, honestly, I never really ever feel that cheated. However, there's no denying that the most amount of fun I have with these sites is looking at stupid people creating terrible gadgets whilst asking for an absurd amount of money, leaving you with a forehead in your palm asking, who the hell would ever back this? Well, strangely enough, sometimes they do get funded, and today I plan to look at the absolute stinkhole that is virtual reality devices. Yep, VR was such a hot topic a few years back, and it still is to some degree, and whenever a hot topic or a pandemic jumps up, you can be damn sure that people will try to profit from it. And it doesn't matter how much dignity they lose in the process. Dear oh dear. Sometimes these campaigns are literally nothing more than cheap Chinese rip-offs being sold as inventions, and other times they do get released, and surprisingly they are actually fairly okay reviewed, like the Glyph. Is it a pair of headphones? Is it a 50-inch TV? Has it been fully forgotten about since then? Yes, yes, and yes. But it did deliver, and it did what it said on the tin, for the most part. Regardless, let's look at several virtual reality devices that didn't get this far, or were completely crap in no particular order, with Kickstarter's terrible and dangerous virtual reality devices. Welcome to Slope's Game Room. So, let's start off with a pair of VR shoes. Hey look, it's that bloke from Mythbusters!
So everybody knows what these things are. They're VR goggles, and when you put them on, you go into a virtual environment. Ideally, you'd be able to walk around in that environment, but if you walk, you're going to run into a wall in a few feet. Now what people have done is create all sorts of multi-axis treadmills and stands with slippery surfaces in them so you feel like you're walking but you're not actually moving. The problem is that you're restrained, and we want to actually be able to move around freely. So what we've come up with is what we're calling the Vortex VR shoes.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Obviously the idea of the product isn't horrific, but it's the execution, and don't worry, that will indeed be an occurring theme for this episode. You see, the thing is, Jamie didn't exactly believe in this product too much. To him, this whole thing was just an experiment, and that's why you can't actually buy the thing using the tiers. Yes, Jamie and his team had no idea how crowdfunding worked. His way of rewarding you is by literally turning the tiers into items from the Vortex shop. Want some cool VR shoes? Sure you don't. How about some nice $25 duct tape instead? Gift cards for a shop that never even opened, or survival kits in case a pandemic would ever occur? Unlikely. In Jamie's own words, thanks, it might work, it might not, we'll know soon. God, doesn't exactly fill you with confidence, does it? Because obviously, it didn't work. Anyway, back to the head for a short while. Here we have the holographic 3D gaming headset that will literally turn any screen from PC to console completely 3D, except that it obviously won't. The campaign got cancelled, but that didn't stop the campaign owner continuing to push these fake 3D goggles on his own website, which yes, has now disappeared too, where you could actually go and buy one for $39.99 or the $119.99 deluxe model. What makes it deluxe, I hear you ask? Well, he made this one look like a Virtual Boy, didn't he? And as we all know, making anything look and function like a Virtual Boy is going to result in nothing but a surefire success. But hey, maybe you are someone that actually does want a Nintendo-based virtual reality headset. I don't know why you ever would, but regardless, I'm not going to judge you. Unless you bought the NS glasses. This is essentially using the same kind of technology as that previously mentioned holographic 3D gaming product that we just spoke about. But dare I say it, it's actually worse. Why? Because at least with that campaign you could get much higher resolutions from the get-go compared to Nintendo's handheld attempt. Straight off the bat, these things are not to be looked at as virtual reality modifiers for the Switch. In fact, I suggest trying not to look at them at all, because they're gonna make you pretty sick if the reviews are anything to go by. Because what you've got here is a kind of 3D enhancer for the Nintendo Switch. It's essentially a ripped up magnifier that sits in front of your face and makes a slightly already low resolution in terms of what you need for a VR headset look even more blurry than what you could possibly ever imagine. The campaign itself gained a shade over $95,000 from 1,418 backers, and even though if you did look at the comment section, you would think that nobody ever got one. And let's be honest, that may actually be a good thing in this scenario. When looking a little deeper, the comment section does seem to be the minority, as plenty of people did end up getting them, and out of all of those people that did, the vast majority hated it, claiming that it gives headaches, weighs way too much, and makes the screen blurry, as predicted. The strange thing about all of this is that quite a few different companies have, for some reason, jumped on board to actually copy it. Sure, if you really want to get one of these things, then you can go on eBay, where you will not only find a higher quality looking copycat, but also plenty of unhappy customers of the NS glasses flogging theirs too for about a third of the price. Right, let's look at a few examples of gadgets that actually help enhance the virtual reality experience, shall we? Products that take what you already use your standard headset for and manage to find a way to immerse you into the experience even further. And no, I'm not talking about that, you pervert. Which means no, I'm not going to be going deep with the VR headset synced stroking toy called the, God, I've actually got to really be careful here. The E-Jack U later, which did get funded but never actually pleasured anyone besides the guy running the campaign. Cha-ching! And I'm obviously not going to be chatting about the real life chest that you slap on the wall and, well, you know, you touch, which thankfully didn't get funded. Probably because only one was only ever available and it was more expensive than the actual goal. Yeah, I think I'm going to be saving clips like that for the YouTube members and Patreons. Plug, 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 plug. You see, what I want to talk about is the weird obsession with wanting you to actually smell and feel your video games by adding multi-sensory elements to your already existing headsets, and strangely enough, these things pop up quite often on crowdfunding websites. Firstly, here's the Vortex, a 4D environmental simulator, not necessarily aimed exclusively at VR players, but not exactly excluding them either. What this does is work out what is going on in your games, whether that be going fast down an icy mountainside SSX style, or escaping a fiery explosion in whatever Call of Duty clone you chavs have been playing recently. This little speaker looking thing is here to help immerse you by blowing hot or cold air to replicate what it sees on the screen. Sure, this works sometimes, but after looking at the reviews I found online, it really did struggle to work out what works and what doesn't. The end result is a slightly annoying breeze on the side of your face that smells like a cheap heater when first turned on, and whilst drying your eyes out, mate, at the same time. This campaign was obviously not going to be hitting its goal, so it cancelled itself to save face, but did end up selling the product anyway on its own website, alongside a few rather impressive products in all honesty. So, you know, make of that what you will. Regardless, it definitely did better than the virtual reality mask and helmet.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and I'm the marketing director of Feel Real.
What's going on with the lip sync in here? It's half done really well and half done really bad. This is definitely lip synced, right guys? Yes, I know that doesn't exactly make sense, but neither does this chick's lips. Look at them.
Modern games use a force feedback technology that gives you sensory feedback as a type of force during the interaction. We took this technology as a starting point to simulate the tactile and olfactory senses. We worked hard not only on how better to implement all the smell and sensory effects, but also how to make it easy and functional. So we got rid of wires and complicated settings. All you need to do is turn it on, and it starts working immediately. The prototype is connected to a PC. Type 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 is connected to a PC via Bluetooth and works about 4 hours on the built-in batteries. We underwent a lot of tests, and through the efforts of our team, we've created a fully operating prototype, which we brought to the Game Developers Conference to show how it can change the future of VR.
The idea for this device is to shoot smells or mist onto your face to give you another level of realism. It didn't hit its goal of $50,000, gaining about half of that, but that didn't stop the company, and they came back for a second attempt with 100% less lip syncing involved this time and a slightly revamped pitch. The end result is actually a finished product. Is it any good? Well, sorry to say, but 561 backers never received it, did they? Why? Well, that's the interesting part. You see, the thing is, even since the first campaign, this thing was showing that it actually did get made to a decent level. Sure, they could have faked all of these people to pretend to enjoy it, but I'm guessing that this thing actually does exist to some degree. The big problem, however, for the company was, can you guess it? Obviously, it was Donald Trump, wasn't it? It's always Donald Trump's fault. Ain't that right, coolest cooler? Yep, I'll let the update posted on November 15th, 2019 explain itself. Unfortunately, we have to postpone the shipping of your Feel Real masks because of the Trump administration's possible ban of flavoured vaping liquids. Feel Real is not a vaping system or an e-cigarette, but our aromatic liquids had to get the same certification in the USA as non-nicotine vaping liquids do. So now we're in the process of FDA approval, and it's delayed because we need to change the category we're being certified in, or wait till President's administration decides not to ban. We will do our best to ship Feel Real masks to you till the end of the year. Obviously, that never happened. Another update came in just before the end of the year confirming this was still the case, and even confirmed in black and white, if we don't get the approval after the new series of tests, we will have to close the project. We're terribly sorry for the inconveniences, but there's nothing we can do at the moment. And now, the latest delay is obviously due to COVID-19. As I've said before, not the worst excuse, but it's one you can't really argue against. It may be true, but it also may be a bit of a get out of jail free card. Sadly, there's no way of knowing because currently there is no real concrete updates as to how or even if these VR vaping machines manage to get past their hurdles needed to bring them to the market. But one thing's for sure is that it didn't stop them raking in even more money on Indiegogo whilst all of these issues were going on at the very same time. Naughty, naughty. And finally, keeping with Indiegogo, we have a campaign that sadly isn't available to see anymore, and the Wayback Machine didn't help here either. But the YouTube channel hosting all of the videos does still exist. So we can piece together exactly what the Hapto actually is. So the idea is that this glove pushes little pin-shaped bumps onto your hand to replicate certain surfaces and textures that you would see and then obviously feel in real life. The big problem, however, is its claim that it will work with any headset from mobile to PSVR and all of the big players on PC, when let's get real, that's completely bogus. That is, unless they actually got hold of the developers of every single VR game ever made and somehow convinced them to include these added bonuses as DLC, which obviously they didn't. Because, as far as anyone is concerned, in the few places I saw talking about this, the thing didn't exist. It's a great idea to a degree, but that's all it was. An idea that was way too far-fetched, and no matter how many sexy ladies you have dancing around in your IKEA-filled living room, nobody was gonna fall for it, as it is believed that the majority of early birds on the campaign were fake, to drum up interest, aka this was essentially a scam from the very, very beginning, that thankfully didn't pay off. Because it didn't exist. Unlike the unlimited hand. Are you ready to be impressed? Check this out.
Unlimited Hand is the world's first video game controller that allows user to touch the virtual objects in the game world.
Wait! How is that even possible? You're probably thinking it's fake, right? Well, let me tell you right now, guys, it isn't. It actually got funded and it actually exists. Although I'm sure that anybody that did eventually get this thing wished that it didn't.
Okay, for a first test, I'm using the serial interface, and so I can activate this electromuscle stimulation test. So this is number 7. Ouch! And it hurts. It's like electroshock.
Yep, it works quite literally by giving you electric shocks to make your fingers spasm, which is ridiculous. Okay, let's give them one more chance, shall we? Because this device can also pick up muscle movements from your fingers down your arm and use those reactions in the game too, meaning that it works as a controller. So it works the other way round as well. Check this out. God, look at how quick those reactions are. Pretty impressive, right? Not bad for $74,952, right? I'm going to leave you guys with quite possibly the most awkward campaign video I have ever seen from a company called Ruxton Corp, who tried to release a stair competition app for VR devices.
Hello people, it's Danny Ruxton here, creator of Stare Off by Ruxton Corp. Just to tell you a little bit about the project. So last night I had a dream that black people and white people will no longer be discriminated by ginger people. For too long now, ginger people have been well renowned for staring into our very souls and stealing our souls, and freckles just appear on their cheeks. And that's why ginger people with more freckles have more souls that they've captured. But for no longer, because with my new app, every one of us can download our own stare and whoever has the longest stare wins. If you can get to level 100 and beat the ginger nemesis, you win. So, in order to make this app live, you have to submit money to the Ruxton Corp. When the app is live, there'll be 2 options. You can upload your own video of you staring, and depending how good it is, will be recorded on our database and analyzed, and they will get categorized into level 1 to 100. And when you start the game, you'll start off at level 1, and whoever's got a 10-second stare.
Are you scared? I know I am. But at least it's not as bad as his other project where he sells unicorn nipples that you lick for good luck.
Some luck to climb your way. They call parties nipples today. Lucky unicorn, nipples give you luck. Flick 'em.
Hey there guys, thanks for checking out this rather odd Kickscammer video here, and I'm very sorry about that music that you heard right at the end there. That will get stuck in your head for days and days. I highly don't suggest that you actually go over to that particular campaign and look at the very latest update. It will give you nightmares. But before you obviously go and do that, let's give a massive shout out to all of the patrons and YouTube members that help me out every single month, that are able to see those exclusive episodes that you guys saw me talk about at the very beginning of this episode. If you guys want to support the show and get your name shown, get your name seen, then this is the way to do it. You're going to be joining these awesome people right here, including Gary Pinkett, Sashi Dog, Ryan Burford, Andrew Dalton, Asobi Quang DX, Jonathan Hayward, Blank, C64 Television, Kevin King, Aaron Gorman, Ben Jackson, Pretty with Horns, Jeff Mianowski, Elf Daughter Crafts, Richard Alderjick, Shadow Dial, Roven Army, Ryan Holtz, Retro to Next Gen, aka Lou, Dina, Adam Lefty Taylor, Intrigued Gaming, Tim Labonte, Tim Lunn, Conrad Constantine, Pretendo 64, Creamy Elephant, David Yaron, Kinglink Reviews, Chris the Rottweiler, Hut, Brandon Gold, Aidan Wolf, Big Rico, Jeff Ladd, Mike Martin, RetroReversing.com, RL Sloan Friendly, Shadow Dragon, Game Apologist, Chris Applin, Wobbles and Bean, The Wonder Ducks, Ye Old Hamburglar, Dan Petit, Lucas Softail, Ronnie Mefford, SSWB, Solix Captor, Jeremy Rodriguez, Nick Pollard, Bram Perez, Marcus Kingimo Cut, Tyndall, Richard Carter, aka Fantastic Dizzy, Todd Paul Float G, Petty Mew, Man of God 9000, MZ, That Gamer, Aristania? Always get your name wrong, I'm sorry. Mr. T, Dina81, Transrights, and Samuel Nilsson. As I already said, guys, if you want to get your name shouted out, you want to get your name shown, you want to see those exclusive episodes that I show off at the beginning of this particular video, all of the other awesome perks, exclusive rooms in the Discord, see what I'm working on before it's released, all of that awesome stuff, then please do click those links down below. You'll be helping the show tremendously if you do. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm working on a couple of big ones right now. I'm actually doing a big collaboration, hopefully with Larry Bundy within the next few weeks as well. So look forward to that. A couple more Kickscammers and an enormous complete history based around Pac-Man. It's taking quite a while to do. But anyway, guys, enough with that. I'm going to go get on with it right now. So this is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.